There is a creature living in the ocean right now that has 9 brains, 3 hearts, and blood that runs blue instead of red. It can taste with its skin. It can edit its own genetic code. It can solve puzzles that stump most mammals. And it recognizes individual human faces, remembering which ones it likes and which ones it doesn't. Scientists who study this animal will tell you the same thing. If intelligence evolved separately on another planet, if aliens exist somewhere in the universe, they would probably think more like an octopus than like a human being. This is not an exaggeration. This is what the research actually shows. By the end of this video, you will understand why the octopus is not just intelligent. It is fundamentally, biologically, impossibly different from almost every other animal on Earth. And that difference makes it one of the most fascinating creatures science has ever studied. Welcome to Mr. Wild Facts. Nature is stranger than fiction. And the octopus might be the strangest of them all. Let's start with the basics. Because even the basics are extraordinary. An octopus has 3 hearts. 2 of them pump blood to the gills. The third pumps blood to the rest of the body. And here's where it gets strange: when an octopus swims, the heart that supplies the body stops beating. This is why octopuses prefer to crawl along the ocean floor rather than swim. Swimming is literally exhausting for them because one of their hearts shuts down during the process. Evolution gave them 3 hearts and then made swimming inefficient. It's bizarre by design. But the hearts are not the strangest part. The strangest part is the brain. An octopus has 9 brains. 1 central brain located in its head. And 8 additional mini brains, 1 in each arm. Those arm brains are not just nerve clusters. They are functioning, decision-making brains. Each arm has roughly 40 million neurons, about the same number as a dog's entire brain. And those neurons operate independently. What that means in practice is extraordinary. If you cut off an octopus arm, which happens in the wild due to predators, that arm will continue moving, exploring, and even trying to bring food toward where the mouth used to be. For up to an hour. The arm doesn't know it's been severed. It's still thinking. Still operating. Still functioning as if the body is still attached. Each arm makes its own decisions about what to touch, where to move, how to solve a problem. The central brain doesn't micromanage. It sets a general goal: find food, escape danger, and the arms figure out the details themselves. Researchers describe it like this. An octopus is not one intelligent creature. It is 9 intelligent creatures that happen to be connected to the same body. And if you think that's fascinating, stick around. Because we're only just getting started. The octopus gets stranger from here. Octopuses don't just have 9 brains and 3 hearts. They have a sensory system that is completely alien compared to almost any other animal on the planet. They can taste with their skin. Their entire body, but especially their arms, is covered in chemoreceptors. These are specialized cells that detect chemical signatures in the water. When an octopus touches something, it doesn't just feel texture and temperature. It tastes it. Imagine running your hand along a wall and being able to taste whether the wall is made of wood, metal, or stone. That's what an octopus experiences constantly. Every surface it touches gives it chemical information about what that surface is made of. This is why octopuses are such effective hunters. They don't need to see their prey to know what it is. They can taste a crab hiding in the sand just by brushing an arm over it. They can identify food, predators, and mates entirely through touch and taste, without ever using their eyes. And speaking of eyes, octopuses have excellent vision. But here's the truly strange part. They are completely colorblind. They cannot see color. And yet they can change their skin to match almost any color and pattern in their environment with near-perfect accuracy. Scientists still don't fully understand how they do this. The leading theory is that their skin itself can sense light and color independently of their eyes. The skin sees. The skin tastes. The skin thinks. The octopus is not just intelligent. It is intelligent in ways that don't resemble anything else on Earth. If you've ever worked in an aquarium, you know the octopus rule. Never underestimate the octopus. Because if there is a way out of its tank, no matter how secure you think the tank is, the octopus will find it. There are dozens of documented cases of octopuses escaping from aquariums. And the methods they use are genuinely impressive. In 2016, an octopus named Inky escaped from the National Aquarium of New Zealand. Staff arrived one morning to find his tank empty. After reviewing security footage, they discovered what happened. Inky had climbed out of his tank, crawled across the floor, squeezed through a narrow drainpipe, and made his way to the ocean. He was never seen again. Octopuses have no bones. The only hard part of their body is a small beak located in the center of their arms. If an octopus can fit its beak through a gap, which is roughly the size of its eyeball, the rest of its body can follow. A 30-kilogram octopus can squeeze through a hole the size of a coin. But physical flexibility is only part of the equation. The octopus also has to want to escape. It has to recognize that the tank is a barrier. It has to understand that there is an outside. And it has to problem-solve a path to get there. In laboratory experiments, octopuses have been observed unscrewing jar lids from the inside to access food. They've been documented disassembling water pumps and filters in their tanks, apparently out of boredom or curiosity. One octopus in Germany repeatedly short-circuited the electricity in its building by squirting water at overhead lights. These are not instinctive behaviors. These are learned, intentional, problem-solving actions. The octopus observes. It experiments. It remembers what works. And it applies that knowledge the next time. If you're starting to realize the octopus is smarter than you thought, you're not alone. Scientists have been studying these animals for decades and they're still discovering new abilities. Make sure you're subscribed because we're about to get into the part that genuinely disturbs researchers. Here is where the octopus stops being fascinating and starts being genuinely alien. Most animals, including humans, are locked into the genetic code they are born with. Your DNA determines your biology. You cannot change it. Mutations happen randomly over generations through evolution. But within a single lifetime, your genetic blueprint is fixed. The octopus breaks that rule. Octopuses and a few of their close relatives like squid and cuttlefish have the ability to edit their own RNA. RNA is the molecule that translates DNA instructions into actual proteins that build and run your body. In most animals, RNA is a passive messenger. It just reads the DNA and follows orders. But in octopuses, RNA is actively edited, rewritten on the fly. What this means in practice is extraordinary. An octopus can adapt its nervous system in real time to respond to environmental changes. If the water temperature drops, it can edit the RNA in its neurons to keep them functioning. If it moves to a new habitat, it can adjust its sensory processing to match. This ability comes at a cost. RNA editing slows down DNA-level evolution. Octopuses evolve more slowly than most animals because they don't need to evolve, they can just edit themselves within a single generation. But it also gives them an adaptability that almost no other animal possesses. The octopus is not locked into one body plan, one set of abilities, one way of existing. It is flexible at the genetic level. Researchers describe octopuses as evolution's experiment. A test case for what intelligence looks like when it develops on a completely different branch of the tree of life. And that experiment produced something we are only beginning to understand. If you spend time with octopuses, and scientists who study them do, you quickly realize something remarkable. They have personalities. Not in the vague, anthropomorphized way we talk about pets, but in the scientifically documented, measurable, consistent over time way that indicates genuine individual variation in behavior and temperament. Some octopuses are bold. They approach new objects immediately, explore unfamiliar environments, and show little fear of humans. Others are cautious. They hide, observe from a distance, and take days to warm up to new stimuli. Some are playful. They manipulate objects for no apparent reason other than curiosity. They chase their own reflections. They spray water at researchers they recognize seemingly for fun. And some are aggressive. They attack anything that enters their space. They hold grudges. Researchers at Seattle Aquarium conducted an experiment. They had two people interact with the same octopus. One person fed it. The other poked it with a stick. After just a few sessions, the octopus could tell them apart on sight. When the feeder approached, the octopus moved toward the glass. When the poker approached, the octopus turned dark red, a defensive color, and retreated. The octopus remembered. It recognized faces. And it responded based on past experience. This is not instinct. This is learning. This is memory. This is what we would call, in any other context, intelligence. And yet the octopus and the human share almost no evolutionary history. Our last common ancestor lived over 500 million years ago. We are as distantly related as two complex animals can be. And somehow, through completely different evolutionary paths, we both arrived at intelligence. We both developed the ability to learn, remember, recognize, and adapt. The octopus is proof that intelligence is not a human invention. It is something the universe creates over and over again, in completely different forms, using completely different biology. Here is the part of the octopus story that genuinely saddens researchers. For all their intelligence, all their adaptability, all their problem-solving brilliance, octopuses live short lives. And they die in a way that seems almost cruelly programmed. Most species live only 1 to 2 years. The largest species, the giant Pacific octopus, can live up to 5 years. But even that is tragically short for an animal this intelligent. And the way they die is even stranger. Female octopuses lay eggs once in their lifetime. After mating, the female finds a safe den, lays thousands of eggs, and then guards them obsessively. She doesn't eat. She doesn't leave. She doesn't sleep. For weeks or sometimes months, she stays with her eggs, keeping them clean, oxygenated, and protected from predators. And then, when the eggs hatch, she dies. Immediately. It's not age. It's not starvation, though she hasn't eaten in months. It's a biological switch. A gland near her eyes releases hormones that shut down her body systematically. Her muscles deteriorate. Her organs fail. She dies within days of her offspring hatching. The babies never meet their mother. They hatch, drift away on ocean currents, and survive entirely on instinct. There is no parental care. No teaching. No knowledge passed down. Every octopus learns everything from scratch. Alone. And yet despite this, despite having no parents, no mentors, no culture, octopuses still develop personalities, still solve problems, still learn and remember and recognize. The intelligence is built in. It emerges naturally. It doesn't need to be taught. There is one species of octopus that deserves special mention. Not because it's the smartest. Not because it's the largest. But because it is one of the most venomous animals on the planet. The blue-ringed octopus. It's small, about the size of a golf ball. It lives in shallow tide pools and coral reefs in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. And when agitated, bright blue rings appear on its skin as a warning. That warning is not a bluff. The blue-ringed octopus carries enough venom to kill 26 adult humans. There is no anti-venom. If you are bitten, the venom causes full-body paralysis within minutes. You remain conscious. You can think. You can feel. But you cannot move. You cannot breathe. Survivors describe it as being buried alive inside their own body. The only treatment is mechanical ventilation, life support, until the venom wears off hours later. If you don't get to a hospital in time, you suffocate while fully aware. And yet despite this terrifying capability, blue-ringed octopuses are not aggressive. They don't hunt humans. They don't attack unless provoked. Most bites happen when someone picks one up, not realizing what it is. The octopus doesn't want to kill you. It just wants to be left alone. The venom is a last resort. A final warning. Even the deadliest octopus on Earth would rather hide than fight. 9 brains. 3 hearts. blood that runs blue, skin that tastes and sees, the ability to edit its own genetic code, intelligence that rivals mammals despite sharing no evolutionary history with them. The octopus is not just another ocean animal. It is a glimpse into what intelligence looks like when it evolves completely independently from everything we know. If we ever meet alien life, truly alien life from another world, it will probably think more like an octopus than like us. Because the octopus already is alien. It just happens to live on the same planet. If this video changed how you see the ocean, if it made you realize just how strange and extraordinary life on this planet can be, then do two things. First, subscribe to Mr. Wild Facts. Because every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we go deeper into the hidden, bizarre, and shocking secrets of the animal kingdom. There are creatures out there stranger than the octopus. And we're going to find them. Second, watch the video that just popped up on your screen. Because if you thought the octopus was fascinating, wait until you see what we're covering next. Nature is stranger than fiction. And we're only getting started.